in Lago Negro. Jack Forrester, Old Paul's best friend. George and Aileen Harris, Gail's parents. Giovinella, Squadra Mobile, Rome Police. Lang Jeffries, Gail's second husband. Fiona Lewis, Victoria's close friend in London. Martin McGuinness, family lawyer in San Francisco. Mario, Big Paul's Roman chauffeur and minder, suspected of using the kidnapping to extort money, but nothing was proved. Dr. Fernando Mazzone, head of Squadra Mobile, Rome Police. Anne Rourke, Big Paul and Gordon's mother, Old Paul's third wife. Dado Ruspoli, Big Paul's friend. Lord Christopher Thynne, social peer to Big Paul, Talitha, and Victoria. Jack Zajac, American sculptor in Rome, friend of Gail and Big Paul. Prologue. Los Angeles, 2001. As things turned out, it was the last time we met. Soon after our visit, Paul and his mother custodian, Gail, took their entourage and moved back to Europe, never to return. I imagine they went in Uncle Gordon's 747. On this, our final visit, Vero, James, and I came down from the north through Death Valley. This time of year, the desert was in bloom. Paul was living up on the hill opposite the Hollywood Bowl in a luxurious cottage hideaway, said to have been formerly occupied by a senior CIA operative. A wheelchair van like my own was parked opposite a ramp leading to the living room. John, one of Paul's minders, came out to help unload me. He told us that Paul was out back. We went through the living room into a garden with a swimming pool. Paul was reclined on his wheelchair in the deep shade of a magnolia, long legs stretched out before him, bedroom slippers on lolling feet, thin freckled arms secured on the armrests by black velvet ribbons about the wrists. We joined him. John invited Vero and James to go swimming and led them into the house to change, leaving the two of us side by side on our chairs. In the buzz of the afternoon heat, a solitary bird repeated a plaintive note. Water trickled on jasmine-scented air. I looked up and watched a pale liquid fire dancing on the underside of the magnolia leaves, the sun reflected off the surface of the pool. A hummingbird hovered before a fuchsia. Through mists of steam, a clearing of crabgrass gave way to birds of paradise, frangipani, and black bamboo screening the door and the fence that led back out into the street. It was a mirage, this place. From within the house, a woman's voice called out in Spanish. A man answered, and there was laughter. They were, I supposed, preparing lunch. This was their place now. It was a good life, steady work. They would never know the nature of the man for whom they worked any more than museum curators know that of the creators of the artifacts they preserve. I watched the steam rise off the water. He liked the water warm. I no longer enjoyed it. The paralyzed body bobs like a cork. The sensation is strange, the lack of control frightening. Led by John, Vero, my wife, and James, my son, re-emerged from the house, laughing, cajoling. Vero and James plunged into the pool. I watched them swim, heard their laughter. When they'd had enough, they went back into the house. The ruffled water slowly slackened. I could turn my head enough to see Paul reclined in effigy beside me, blank eyes staring fixedly ahead, nose rising up like the dorsal on a sailfish, shock of red hair cut short. He'd had no wish to conceal the swirl of scar tissue around the hole and pale patch of skin exposed by the missing ear. I watched his face for a sign of recognition, a flicker that would move us forward. There was none. When we had first met, his flame had been dazzling. The hotter he had burned, the more he had sought. He had trod where you dared not, done what made you wonder. That's how his father had been, the late John.